So as we get started, my name is Adam Jones. I'm with Pullman Marketing. We're the group that's facilitating the business blend. But as always, I do want to thank our sponsors, Suida, Avista, and the Pullman Chamber of Commerce. We are so thankful and so grateful that they help support and sponsor today's event. Today we're going to get started with a couple of activities. And primarily, I'm going to walk through a customer journey map. And then I'm going to give you guys each table a sheet to work through on your own business or a new business. And so in my mind, I've been driving around town a fair amount, just looking at property, looking at what's vacant, what's available. Just it's good to be aware. We still don't have anything that has replaced the Baskin-Robbins downtown, and that is an awkward space. If you've driven by it, it's just a little hole. It's tiled. They still have the refrigeration equipment. I'm like, what would do really well there is either a bubble tea or shave ice place, where it's not meant to be like a long-term sit-down area, but bubble tea. And if you don't know, it's milk tea with tapioca pearls. It's a lot of fun. It's delicious. If I think about that, then if my idea is a bubble tea stand with a theme, and I want college students, well then, how do I bring a college student to be aware of it, build the desire for it, get them to actually buy the thing, which is sometimes the hardest part with our college students, and then turn them into advocates. I want repeat sales. I want them to tell their friends about it. I want them to be engaged with me. I want them to be posting on social media with me. I want them to be integrated with my business. The cool thing about this is like a sales funnel. This is really all this is a sales funnel in just a more direct way. So, in an awareness, I could always say, because I'm a digital marketer, just say Facebook ads, right? Because that might work. What are some thoughts or ideas of how a bubble tea / luxury food place could grab college students? What do you guys think? Because I like engagement. I like feedback.
Engage athletes.
Ooh.
This program called the NIL.
Yeah, so get a couple cougs to kind of help promote.
Maybe individuals, maybe you even have a team, the whole team.
WSU has meetings every couple of months with their athletes to specifically open up a conversation space for you to talk to individual athletes about what you sell and what they can do and work out a relationship.
Yeah.
So they have advocates for their athletes there, but it's open to all local business owners to go in.
I think it's called the Coog Collective, and that's one avenue.
Yes.
And then, but not all the athletes are signed with that. I think they're a little more spendy than the ones that aren't signed with that, which makes sense. You're dealing with a middleman. And so,
I know one of the other items that's out there is like that Cougar Survival Guide, right? So we got that. What are other ways? Yeah.
Like in the beginning of each semester, they do like week of welcome. So if you have
Yeah.
a booth out and you were just kind of handing out like samples of the teas or milk teas or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, samples. I like that. It's the Jimmy John's model, actually. If you didn't know, Jimmy John's, a part of their market, and they've done this since they were created, does go around towns and give out free sandwiches. It is really popular on the WSU and U of I administrative offices because they'll do it, I think, at least once a quarter and just go in kind of like as a reminder. And they do see a pretty significant boost in sales every time they do that. So there are ways and means to do that. Maybe one or two more ideas of just like broad stroke ideas.
So if you must go to special events, they do Brewfest downtown, so it'd be like a one-time pop-up. You're not required to.
Oh. Actually, I like that's way better than trying to get with the farmer's market, because the farmer's market is pretty strict on their stuff.
There's always the infamous Lentil Festival and the 4th of July event, just to get your name out there.
Yeah? Okay. So then, say I did do any of these. How do I actually build interest? How do I, they know that there is a bubble tea place in Pullman, vaguely, because sometimes they're not very good at getting downtown. How do they become interested in it? What drives that? What builds it?
Maybe give them coupons, maybe discount.
So coupons, I'm actually going to throw over to the desire side, and that will actually help bridge it, because usually you have to generate the desire to tear down barriers.
Okay.
because they may be interested, they might really desire it, but maybe mom and dad said not to run the credit card so much this month, right? Or maybe I'm actually should be responsible with my student loans this month.
So for me, it's video testimonies, but it's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Video testimonials.
We pair that with reviews, just generally.
Yeah, especially if it's your Google Map reviews, which I will say, and we're probably going to do another talk here soon. We did a picture for Pizza Perfection less than a year ago, and it just hit over 1 million views on it for a town that has 30,000 humans.
Crazy.
Wow.
I want to add that we did this for fun, just to see what would happen.
Yeah. People are using the Google Maps, and they look through the images. They look through those images like crazy. So not only Google Map reviews, but then if we curate, right? Because they don't know where I am. They don't know that it's downtown. They don't know that you have to that's a hard parking lot to get into, that you're on that one way trying to curve into that right. You can't really make it left. So then if we were able to curate the Google Map experience. So in Google Maps, there's a couple of different ways you can do it, where you can allow just users to submit photos for you, but then you never really know what they're submitting. It could be good, it could be bad. It could be the one day that there was a windstorm that knocked over your trash can and littered your parking lot, and they're like, oh yeah, this is a trashy place, because that's happened. That has happened. But when you're curating it on Google Maps as the business owner after you've claimed it, you're able to say, oh, this is the indoor experience. And you can post videos or photos. This is the exterior experience, photos and videos. You can say, hey, here's our product listing offering. And then there's even some 360 options and some lifestyle options, so that as the user is going through, they can say, oh, I want to look at the inside. Oh, wait, okay, so that's the inside, but is this the right parking lot? And be able to walk through exactly what they need, instead of just saying, here's a bunch of photos, swipe until you find what you want. And it actually really does help. When we've worked with other retails in other markets, people scroll through it like crazy. The other thing that you can do, especially in Google Maps, to kind of help build this interest and desire, and this kind of leads with the coupons a little bit, is you can actually do Google posts. You can actually now start treating your Google Maps page as a social media page and posting to it. So if you do have new products, special products, or events or other promotional items, you can post that all inside of there. The other thing that we should probably do, because this is more specifically a food item, as much as I don't like them, probably using a bit of Yelp and curating that experience as well. Because your iPhone users, the Apple Map system and the Apple search interface typically are pulling more from the Yelp system than from Google or the Bing Places system. They still use those as inferential data pieces, but Yelp is the one that kind of influences the Apple search a little bit more. So Apple is trying to compete with Google in that sphere, but for right now they are pulling Yelp data. So I want to curate my Yelp experience too.
I don't totally understand the Google Map. I mean, I do a Google search, and our Anita's Rentals pops up, and I fill out the hours, and I fill out all the I put a bunch of pictures in there and all that. That's different than what you're talking about with the Google Map experience, right?
So we're talking very similarly, but what I'm saying is being really specific. So when you're posting your photos, are they your best units?
Yeah, we're posting nice ones, yeah.
Yeah, they're freshly cleaned and ready to go. And then the other item that you can do is the Google Posts. This is a newer feature where you treat it like a Facebook post. That's basically what it is. And they do expire after, I think, 30 to 45 days. So you do kind of have to stay a little bit fresher on it. But the more you use all the tools that Google provides, the more they'll optimize for you.
Okay, but you said Google Map reviews?
Yeah, Google Map reviews. It's still tied to your Google Maps or Google profile. They've changed the name 6 times.
Oh, okay.
It was Google. I think they're trying to just call it your Google business profile now. but it's tied to the maps, it's tied to everything else. You might revisit it again because they have, especially in the last 6 months, really changed it quite a bit. So then, if they know where I am, they like the food, they like the looks of the food, they like the looks of the bubble tea, there's some decent Google Maps reviews, there's maybe a couple social posts that are like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, everybody needs to check it out. What builds that desire, and what, aside from a coupon, can I do to entice them to make that purchase?
I think availability. So college students have a really awkward schedule.
Ooh.
So if you could make it available, after school hours and middle of the night. I don't know if you're gonna have a bubble stand.
Oh heck yeah!
Open in the middle of the night, but hey, college town,
What in Hawaii? What time do places stay open for bubble tea?
It depends where you are. Sometimes they close at like maybe 8 or 9. If you're closer to like some of the more nightlife crowd, some of them will be open till maybe 10, 11, things like that.
I don't know if you can put like energy drinks in bubble tea, but I feel like that kind of stuff with college students.
Yeah. I like that. If we did, because we could partner with Lotus. We could partner with Lotus to do the energy shots into the bubble tea and make it more of a late night study, fun activity thing. Yeah.
Again, Starbucks has a good model where you can turn it into a study hall. So if you could make, your business around a little study group area where maybe you have cubicles, maybe you don't, or just it's a bunch of tables that people can come and congregate late at night.
And I think we could do that. So specifically thinking about the Baskin-Robbins location, I think we could, because they have a really large storage back area that for bubble tea, you don't need that much storage. So we actually probably would be able to do a small reno and be able to make that happen.
In the town I came from, there's a coffee shop that specifically has a booth that's called like Miner's Corner or something, which is their mascot. And so it's like basically marketed for the college, and nobody else sits there and like makes it its own little space.
Yeah.
Adam, is there any way to extend their brick and mortar? And what I mean by that is brick and mortar is just fixed place. This is where the customer has to come. Mm-hmm. Can this business go to the customer somehow?
Yeah.
Maybe have a table, like you mentioned, table where they hang out rather than having them come to you.
So I was gonna say for awareness, because Aziz said something that made me want to bring it up again. Like, think a mini food cart, but it's wrapped and made to like look like boba and tapioca pearls and everything like that. And then they can it's like a small little one, like the little shave ice carts that people have. Just wheel it on campus.
There are challenges, obviously, because now you've got basically two businesses, one at the brick and mortar place, and now you got to make that work. Mm-hmm. Now you got to make this one work, and everything is different here than here.
But if I partnered with Frank for delivery, that's one way I can bring it to them, because DoorDash actually takes a large fee. Frank is a pretty good deal. I like delivery Pullman. Everyone should order delivery Pullman. But no, y'all are right. And I like the car idea. WC is rough. It is. U of I is a lot more open for that. Even though I'm not trying to go after U of I students, but Moscow doesn't have a bubble tea place, I don't think. So then, all right, we've made them convert with better hours, better study area, delivery with Frank, coupons. All right, how can I turn these people into advocates for me?
Punch cards.
Okay. So I'm going to say digital punch cards because nobody likes actually carrying cards anymore.
I like it. Referral program.
Yeah. And then what about SMS follow-ups? Yeah, text messaging saying, hey, can we get a Google? Can we get a Google review? Oh, hey, we're running a special today.
Frequent buyer card.
Is that different than the digital punch card?
I would say like a physical. Otherwise, I mean, your college kids are going to be okay with the digital punch card, but your older demographic is not.
Okay, so I'll say true punch card.
Can there be student ambassadors, kind of like maybe they wear T-shirts? I don't know how those ambassador programs work.
Yeah. So I'll say I'll throw them on both sides, and this is why I love it, because anything that we throw into advocacy loops back us into the awareness section, which is the most important part. The other thing that I was thinking about, because like if we made it like Hawaiian themed, we could have like a cutout of our mascot, and like you take pictures with the mascot and the bubble tea.
Along with the tangible side of things, you gotta get some merch out there.
Yep.
You know, put it on a pin or sticker or keychain, something.
Get the drip and swag going. Absolutely. we can talk like really big picture right now, right? And say, hey, okay, so we're gonna do all these cool things, but then at the end of the day, we also have to actually make the things. And so then being aware of the things we actually need to make to have it work. And so then that's why we have a content funnel on the backside. So then that way you're saying, okay, I want to do coupons. Well, okay, well, what kind of coupon? Do you earn the coupon? Is it an email sign-up coupon? Is it a give me your phone number so I can SMS message you coupon? And is it 5%, 10%? And then is it 5 or 10% off of energy ones or 5% off of a normal boba? Or you get your tapioca toppings for your bubble tea for free, right? It changes the messaging drastically throughout. And so then if I were talking about the advocacy stuff, so I do the mascot, I'm just gonna say mascot pictures and say we get these. Then on the awareness side, you can say social media campaign that includes students. And this could be a whole hashtag program. This could be a whole setup for what does it look like to be a Coug in Pullman. Taking pictures with the mascots, taking pictures with things in and around town. What locations have you taken pictures with the bubble tea around town? Have you taken the pictures at Jandy's store? Have you taken the pictures at the parks? Where are you being a Coug with bubble tea? And that's a whole campaign. And the cool thing is we could say is that maybe after 5 posts, maybe 50 BOGO. And then we create a self-driving loop.
Say this again. This is a customer doing this.
Because we said, let's get you a picture going with the mascot. By the way, hey, if you post more times with the bubble tea around town, if you post 5 times, we'll give you a BOGO, a buy one, get one. But then you post about it, and you have a customer that's constantly creating social content for you, and it only costs you 1 free drink, maybe once a week, twice a week. And you can verify that of like, oh yeah, if in the last week there's 5 posts with our drinks and your photos, and it's in Pullman tagged, easy. And the nice thing is you can just see and verify. You can mark it on the customer's account because if in Square and Toast, you can actually see like customers' previous purchases. And so then you can see how many BOGOs they've also received. So there's checks and balances along the way that you can do it thanks to Toast and other systems. When we create a self-feeding loop like this, it's able to drive that awareness, the engagement, we're getting past the desire and everything else. Just by making sure that we have a full map of our customer journey laid out. Then we can look at the individual tactics. What I'd like for you guys to do now is to work in groups, and we'll pass out some flyers, and to walk through this either for your own business or for an imaginary business. Sometimes the imaginary is more fun to just kind of get the creative juices going.
It's
I was gonna say it's like Waffle House. Part of the allure is Waffle House, but you might.
And I met her because it's right next to the art niche. It's kind of
You guys can still kind of talk and mingle. We have to start kind of closing up so we can give the bank back their space. But we are so thankful for everybody.
They have some what?
I love it.
Oh, they are? Yeah.